Q&A time! Hello everybody, I'm RandomBystanderHere, and we're doing a different type of video today. Yes, this video marks 1 year on YouTube. Yes, 1 year. Well, technically almost 1 year. It'll be 1 year on May 31st. May 31st was when I decided to make consistent videos and where I uploaded Tetris 99 and started making consistent YouTube videos once a week. It wasn't perfect, no, but what first year on YouTube is. And I learned a lot, and a lot has happened, and honestly, we have grown a lot. In a year, we have made it to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000! I never thought this would happen. I thought I would get to like 500 or 600 at most, if I was lucky. But we were able to make it to 1,000, so thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your support. The community is amazing, and I am so thankful that you enjoy the content. And if you want to see this content but aren't subscribed yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button, or the like button, or comment. All that jazz. But what am I doing today? Well, to celebrate 1 year on YouTube, I thought it would be fun to do a Q&A and just answer questions you guys had. So I went on the social medias and posted on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I have the ones I'm going to answer right here on my phone, and I figured might as well answer them and see what you guys want to ask. By the way, even though this is a milestone, this is not my 1,000 subscriber milestone. That is coming in time. But not today! Shan asked, what made you want to start streaming? Where do you see yourself in the next year? Well, that's a bit of a long story. I've mentioned this multiple times in various different things, but I started streaming because I went through a really bad breakup that kinda shook me. And after a few days of moping around, I decided I wanted to change things. I wanted to go back to college, which I did, and I eventually found Twitch, which I fell in love with. I watched a bunch of streamers. There were some fantastic streamers that really got me out of the rut that I was in and made me want to stream myself. So while I went back to college, I worked as much as I could at my job just to afford a PC I could stream on, because that's what I really wanted to do. And then eventually one thing led to another, and I wound up streaming, and here we are now. So basically it's because a huge shakeup in my life made me want to change things, made me want to follow my dreams a bit more. That's why I decided to stream. I was also hoping that just like a lot of streamers gave me hope during some dark times, that I would be able to help them out. Even if it was just to, you know, make them laugh. Megan Hitzel asks, why did you start a YouTube? Well, a couple reasons actually. I wanted to do YouTube content kinda to advertise the Twitch channel, cause honestly, I was watching a lot of Harris Heller videos and how they were saying that Twitch's discovery growth isn't exactly the best. It's gotten better, I'm sure, a little bit with the channel trailers, I don't know for sure, but it's definitely not the best. And a lot of people have been getting their streams out there with platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I figured starting YouTube might be the best thing to do in order to get your stuff out there. But honestly, I've been watching YouTube game reviews since before I even considered doing Random Bystander Here as a thing. I saw videos like JonTron, Peanut Butter Gamer, The Completionist, James Rolfe, of course. And I saw what they were doing, and deep down I wanted to try that, but I just had so many doubts for the longest time. But by my senior year of college, I kind of realized what I wanted to do in life, and what I wanted to do in life was make YouTube content. I find myself making a video whenever I had the chance with projects, and I had a lot of fun and people really liked them. And I figured, why not try doing that on actually YouTube? So I guess the answer is it was a mix of getting my content out there, but also because I really wanted to do it. Bushwings asked, who is your favorite Animal Crossing villager? Wolfgang. I don't have his amiibo card right now, but he was my favorite since GameCube. He was the first villager I ever saw, lived right next door to me, and I loved him. Got him in New Leaf, our friendship grew even further. And when New Horizons arrived and you were able to add villagers with amiibo cards, I knew I had to get Wolfgang. Dominique Sora asked, what's your favorite kind of music? That's a tough one. I have a bunch of different favorites, so I'm going to cheat. I'm a fan of all sorts of video game music, instrumentals, things like that, but also classical music and definitely Broadway. I always find classical music relaxing. Whenever I had the chance, I would listen to classical music in the car just to make me feel relaxed and basically feel peace and tranquility while, like, driving. And Broadway because I love musicals. I went to a performing arts high school. I love being in shows. I miss being in theater. So I've always loved like certain show tunes. I'd say my favorite one would be Little Shop of Horrors. best musical in my opinion. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but it's one of mine. Scarlet Hellion, she has 2, but I'm gonna answer both of them. Here's one for you. How long do you spend editing every day? A long time. And your videos on Insta and YouTube each have their own styles. How do you separate the feel behind each so you vary the content across platforms? Both good questions. When it comes to time on editing, it really depends on what I'm doing. For like the short little clips I put on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok that you guys all love based on streams, I can get them done in usually a half hour to an hour, depending on what I gotta do. Sometimes they take longer, other times they don't take long at all. It really depends what I do with the clip. When it comes to making like videos on YouTube, that also depends. If I make a stream compilation, it doesn't take too long because I basically take the little chunks of videos and put them all together. Nothing too crazy. If I make the podcast videos, that's a little bit tougher, but at the same time, not much. Just, I'd say maybe a couple hours or so. The reviews, on the other hand, they take up a big chunk of time. I would say the reviews in general just take a lot of time because I gotta write the script, I gotta record the footage, I gotta record the script, I gotta edit the audio, edit the video, put it all together, and what have you got? A video. It takes like maybe 3 to 4 hours for a couple of days. Because of course I can't edit all the time like crazy as much as I'd like to. But it definitely takes a while to work on. I still love doing them, it just takes a lot of time. And I'm kind of picky about editing, so that's why I always want to fine-tune things and make it just right. Maybe one day I'll hire an editor to make things easier. Maybe, we'll see, I don't know. As for variations on style, I guess, I don't know. I just always wanted to try something different with YouTube and Twitch. The little Twitch clips are more my goofy self just unfolding, while the reviews are still have that goofy tone, but at the same time are a bit more informative. And if a certain style forms because of it, it's kind of accidental? I'm sorry if this is a bad answer. Dawn says, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? That's a tough question too, because there's so many great places. A part of me wants to see what it's like in California, because that's where a lot of things happen. That's where like conventions happen, YouTube headquarters is. A part of me wanted to live in New York in a while because of Broadway, but I prefer visiting New York, to be honest. The thing is, I just don't travel much, so I don't even know where I would want to live. I guess if I could afford in California. Mithril Assassin asks, how are you always so positive? I love it. Well, first off, thank you. Second, I always just try to look on the bright side of life and things. Even when things get a bit down, that's always been a habit I have. Maybe a defense mechanism sometimes. But it's always been a habit of mine just to basically look on the bright side. Like, hey, this might not be able to happen, but hey, maybe this could happen because of it. Usually I find something positive about every negative situation. Yes, negative things do happen. Yes, it's okay to feel sad about things. I just personally always try and stay positive, super energetic, because that's just who I am as a person. I like being happy, I like spreading the happiness, I like spreading joy, and yeah. Quirky Kirk says, what amount of money would it take for you to eat an entire loaf of bread on stream? Well, definitely the amount of money it takes to buy the bread. Probably a bit more, though. I probably wouldn't do that. Yuki asks, what is a game you love but everyone hates? Super Paper Mario. I know a lot of people don't like it because it deviates from the Paper Mario formula, but I love it. I love the music, I love the story, I love the characters. I love a lot of things about it. Is it perfect? No, it's not Thousand Year Door. Not to say that Thousand Year Door is perfect either. But there's something about it I really like, and I think it's underrated. I probably want to play Super Paper Mario just to give it another shot. The Wash _ asks, what games do you consider extremely underrated? Super Paper Mario. I'll think of a different answer though. I guess other than that, Nintendo Land for the Wii U. It's actually a really good launch title for the Wii U, and it's a multiplayer, it's fun, it uses great uses of the gamepad. Bring it to Switch, Nintendo! Oh, and Punch-Out Wii, very underrated. I love it. I'm probably gonna play it on YouTube soon. Candy Cat asks, who's your favorite AC non-villager character? Basically characters like Isabelle, KK Slider, Rover, etc. I'd have to say it's a tie between Blathers and Mr. Rossetti. Blathers because he's just Blathers and adorable, and he goes on forever, but my god, I love it. Plus, the way he gets scared about bugs is hilarious. And Mr. Rossetti because he really chewed you out if you reset the game, and I just loved making him mad. It was my favorite thing to do in the GameCube. How did you first start Twitch or YouTube? I started Twitch by raising money for a streamable computer because the computer I had before then was a potato. And once I got that, I just basically watched a bunch of tutorials on how to stream, asked a lot of friends on how to stream, and basically just asked a lot of people for help. Even one of my good friends actually made my first logo because I had no idea how to make a logo, nor could I really afford one. So they just scratched up a quick logo for me, and it was great. I used it for like almost 2 years. YouTube pretty much did the same thing. I did a lot of research, did a lot of tutorials. I bought some new equipment. I bought the DSLR camera you're seeing me on now. I bought a microphone. I got Adobe Premiere Pro. I got a lot of different stuff. What type of games or what games did you play as a kid and how have they influenced what you play today? Again, another good question. Believe it or not, I didn't play Nintendo much when I was a kid. I played a lot of Spyro. Spyro was my favorite game when I was a kid. I just loved the original trilogy. I beat it 100%. Probably why I like a lot of cartoony games. I played Animal Crossing on the GameCube religiously. Seriously, I grew up with that game. If it weren't for me playing that game every day when I was a kid, I probably wouldn't be making Animal Crossing content right now. I played a lot of RPGs as well. I played Kingdom Hearts, I played Thousand Year Door, Battle for Bikini Bottom, that was a classic. Mario Sunshine, that's another one. I played a lot of GameCube games. GameCube games and PS2 games were the games I played a lot. Sometimes Wii, but mostly PS2 and GameCube. Kirby Fan asks, what is your opinion of the good dinosaur? Oh boy. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to do a plug of this now. I do a podcast with two of my friends, The Wash and Kirby Fan, called Work in Progress, where we talk a bunch of different medias and give our thoughts on them. The first one we did was called Pixarspective, where we basically watched all the Pixar films from the past and present and gave our thoughts on them. And the one that I hated from the very get-go and still hate to this day is The Good Dinosaur. I'll leave a link to that channel in the description below. You'll want to check it out. There's some gems in that podcast. Trust me. Norman asks, how did you come up with your name? Another good question. I thought of the idea of Random Bystander Here years ago. Years before I could even think of doing content creation. I needed a username for something, and for some reason, Random Bystander Here just popped into my head because I didn't think I would make a difference in anything. I thought I would just go into chat rooms whenever I could and just randomly be there, and I wouldn't make a difference in anyone's lives. I wouldn't make a huge thing because I thought, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna be a random bystander who's here. I'm gonna blend in with the crowd. And then the name just kind of stuck. I used it on all the platforms. I used it on YouTube. I used it on Twitch. Whenever I wanted to use a pseudonym and not use my real name for something, that's the name I use. It just kind of stuck. Natey Nate asks, you changed a lot over the year. What do you think your favorite change to yourself was? I guess, that's a good question. I feel like I've gotten more confident over the years. My camera presence was a bit better from streaming on Twitch, but I still suffered from talking to the camera and such, because talking with an audience is completely different than talking with a camera. And I felt like I've gotten better at doing monologues and stuff to myself. I mean, I've done monologues before, like acting, but I was still rusty at it, and I still had a lot of trouble, and doing YouTube weekly really helped out with my confidence. I feel like also my content has gotten better, and definitely feel like my editing has gotten better. My god. There were some early Random Bystander Here episodes that were really bad with the editing, and we're not gonna watch them again. And they definitely have improved, especially when it comes to making like the quick bite-sized videos for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They're a real great editing warm-up. And I honestly feel like my editing has gotten better just from making those alone, so. Chris Kyra asks, who is your least favorite villager and why? That's a tough one. I guess my least favorite would be this like weird pink panda that just looks creepy. But even then, he's not that bad, and I know a few people who actually like him a lot. I don't really hate any villagers, I guess. Because even the ones I think I'm going to hate, if they wind up in my island or town, I still kind of wind up liking them. Also, oh wait, maybe a mouse with like a 5 o'clock shadow. I forget his name, but maybe that guy too. Future me will post these villagers' pictures so you guys know who I'm talking about. This is a lot of questions. Tap Girl asks, how do you balance what content goes on YouTube versus Twitch? What is your favorite type of video to make? Do you have a favorite video that you have made? What is your favorite type of game to make videos of? What program do you use to edit? How do I balance it? Again, I just kind of see what happens. Of course, the main thing is that it has to be Nintendo related. That's what I make content on. That's what I like making videos on. So, a lot of times if I want to review a game that I haven't played before, I will stream it on Twitch first. And if I like it, I keep playing it. And if I finish it, I'll probably turn it into a video review. When it comes to games I stream, I usually stream things that I like or things that I think people will watch me like. That's why we play a lot of Animal Crossing. With YouTube, sometimes I'll play really bad games. Sometimes I'll play games that I'm really passionate about that I don't think would be good on stream, but I still want to talk about. It really just depends. It really depends on a lot of different factors. What is your favorite type of video to make? Honestly, I like making the Random Bystander Here reviews. I feel accomplished with making them because a lot of effort and time goes into them, and they're just a lot of fun to make. A lot of effort, but still, I love the finished product of when that happens. I really like trying new Switch games, like the Cheap Switch Game series, or the recent video I did where we spent $100 on random Switch games. That was a lot of fun just to try new games on a gamble. And just like see, is this game gonna be good? Is this game gonna be worth the money? What is this game about? I've never heard of this game. There's a lot of weird Switch games that I never heard of and that I want to give a shot. Also, any video about Animal Crossing, because I love it. Favorite video that I made? Probably the New Horizons review. That's the one I'm probably the most proud of. I put a lot of effort into that one because I really felt that not only was this game one of my favorite games of all time on the Switch, but it came out at such an important time, and at such a time that was just like, where things were at a really low point. And Animal Crossing was able to distract us and give us daily tasks and make our minds think of anything but what was going on in the world. So that's why I thought it was a really important video to make. And even though it is silly, I really am proud of that one most of all. What's your favorite type of game to make videos of? Just, I would say Animal Crossing because the majority of the videos I make, at least the short ones, are Animal Crossing. But I don't really have a favorite, just Nintendo games. I wish I could make more Animal Crossing content, but I just like making videos. What program do you use to edit? Premiere Pro. I used to use Sony Vegas a long time ago, but I remember one time during editing, it just crashed like crazy, and I eventually just bit the bullet and decided to pay monthly for it. It gives my laptop a run for its money for sure, but it still works. I'm still able to make content on it, and I still edit on it every day. You probably want to do a free editing software if you're just getting into video editing, just because if you're not sure if you want to do it, you don't want to spend that much money. So I would recommend something free at first, and then if you want to take the plunge, get Premiere Pro. Also, watch tutorials. And finally, Sid asks, what is your favorite game? Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, right? Ha 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 ha! Ah, that's such a tough one. That's such a tough one. I'd say it depends on a lot of things, but my favorite video game, as of now, this could totally change. My favorite video game is still Mother 3. At least story-wise, it's my favorite. I've always loved the storytelling in that game. I always think it's a shame that it's still not released in America. I wish the third installment of the Mother series was released in America. That would be great, Nintendo. And that has always been my favorite game from the very beginning. Mother 3, Animal Crossing. I feel like I could make a list of my top 10 favorite games in no particular order because I couldn't rank them. I'm really indecisive with this type of stuff. And that's all the questions we have today. Thank you so much for watching. You guys asked a lot of really cool questions, and I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed the answers. I hope they were satisfying and filled your curiosity with content. Thank you guys for watching. It really means a lot to me. It really means a lot that you're continuing to watch, continuing to comment, continuing to like, continuing to share. And as a community, we're continuing to grow. It has been one heck of a year since I started YouTube, and I really am happy that I did, and I cannot wait to make more content. And now that this milestone is done, I have one more milestone that I need to celebrate.